Somewhere along the way, we're taught that wealth looks a certain way: a bigger house, a nicer car, a lifestyle that signals success to everyone else. But wealth isn't a number, it's a feeling. The problem is that most of us were never taught how wealth actually works. Most people don't miss wealth because they're lazy, they miss it because they never learned the rules that actually build it. Here are 7 lessons most people miss about wealth until it's too late. Lesson number 1, wealth is quiet. Most people grow up believing wealth is something you arrive at. But for a lot of people, that moment never comes because they're chasing the wrong version of wealth. The world teaches us to recognize wealth by what it can purchase: a nicer car, a bigger home, a wardrobe that looks expensive, a lifestyle that broadcasts, "I made it." But the wealth that lasts is rarely the wealth you can see. The most stable financial lives are often built behind the scenes and look boring on the outside. Automatic transfers, consistent investing, controlled spending, and patience. Building wealth is repetitive and looks almost boring until years pass and the money in your account becomes impossible to ignore. A lot of people never learn this lesson because we live in a culture that celebrates the visible rewards, not the invisible process. But if you want the kind of wealth that can survive downturns, job changes, and real life, quiet is the goal. Lesson number 2, income matters, but behavior matters more. Most people believe the turning point will happen once they get a raise or a promotion or they're finally making enough. But income changes faster than habits do. Yes, income matters. It's hard to build any kind of wealth without income to cover your basic needs, but your habits determine if that money will stick around. We see things like this happen all the time. People get raises and they immediately upgrade their lifestyle. Now they're feeling just as stressed as before in a higher tax bracket. How many times have we seen someone win the lottery only to end up broke or bankrupt just a few years later? The difference between building wealth and simply earning money is what happens after the paycheck hits the account. Are you keeping more money even as your income rises? Are you building systems to automate your savings and investing so you don't rely on willpower? If you overspend at $40,000, you'll overspend at $400,000. If you save 5% now, you'll most likely save 5% or more later. Wealth isn't built because your income changes, it's built when your behavior does. Lesson number 3, lifestyle inflation happens slowly, then all at once. Nobody wakes up and decides, "I'm going to sabotage my future today." It starts with small upgrades that feel harmless. A nicer apartment because you want more space. A car payment because you worked hard. Eating out a little more often because you're busy. Subscriptions because they're convenient. Each decision feels justified, even responsible. But lifestyle inflation isn't dangerous because of any single purchase. It's dangerous because it becomes your new normal. And once your spending becomes your identity, it becomes something you have to maintain, then your freedom gets smaller. Wealth grows in the gap between what you earn and what you decide not to spend. That gap is where investing happens. It's where emergency funds grow and where choices are born. That gap is how you earn your financial freedom. Lesson number 4, debt is a claim on your future. Debt is often marketed like a tool, like something you can use to get ahead, and sometimes it can be. But most of the debt people carry isn't strategic. It's consumer debt. It's convenience debt. It's impatience debt. It's the cost of wanting life to feel easier today without fully calculating what it takes from tomorrow. Because debt doesn't just take money, it takes time. Every dollar you owe represents future hours of your life already promised to something else. Future efforts you haven't done yet allocated to past decisions you already made. And the heavier that debt becomes, the fewer options you have. You can't move as freely. You can't take risks as easily. You can't pivot careers or weather emergencies without panic. Credit cards, car loans, buy now, pay later plans, they might feel convenient in the moment, but they stack up into years of delayed progress. Wealth gives you flexibility. Debt takes that away. Lesson number 5, no one is coming to save you. It's not that help can't exist. It's not that systems shouldn't improve. It's not that wages shouldn't rise or costs shouldn't be fairer. Those things matter. But in the best case version of the world, no one will ever care more about your financial life than you do. No employer is going to show up and say, "Hey, let's make sure your emergency fund is solid." No system is going to pause and ask if your spending aligns with the future you want. No one will stop you from making choices that feel good today and hurt you later. Now, the moment you accept that no one is coming to rescue your finances can be scary, but you don't need a dramatic makeover. You need a plan you can repeat, slowly, imperfectly, but intentionally. Even small actions, budgeting, investing 1%, building an emergency fund, compound into momentum. Lesson number 6, wealth is about control, not possessions. When people think about wealth, they think about what they can buy. But real wealth is about what you don't have to do. It isn't about buying better things. The bigger purpose of wealth is about buying freedom. Freedom is being able to handle a surprise bill without spiraling. It's being able to take time off when your body's exhausted. Freedom is being able to leave a job that drains you and not feeling like you're one paycheck away from panic. Freedom reduces pressure, gives you options, and frees up your time. If your lifestyle requires constant income just to maintain itself, that isn't wealth, it's obligation. Wealth is the ability to say no, to walk away, to breathe. True wealth is where your money supports your peace and gives you space. Lesson number 7, time is the only unfair advantage. People love to believe wealth is about being smart, or catching the right trend, or finding the perfect investment at the perfect moment. But the biggest edge in wealth building isn't intelligence or luck, it's time. Time is the one factor no one can replicate. Time does a lot of heavy lifting if you give it a chance. Starting early, especially with investing, creates momentum that's hard to replicate later. Not because you're better than anyone else, but because compounding is ruthlessly in your favor when you give it years to work. The best part about this is that you don't need to start perfectly, you just need to start. Small contributions, simple index funds, automatic investing, all of this almost feels too easy. Time can turn small actions into large outcomes, but only if you stay in the game. Most people lose because they stop. They get discouraged. They feel behind. They wait until they know enough. They wait until it feels safe. The people who are successful at building wealth aren't the ones who waited until they felt ready or they were making enough. They're the ones who started scared but kept going. They're the people who built systems anyway. They stayed consistent through uncertainty. They accepted that wealth is a long game and not a lucky moment. But that brings us to a bonus point and a bigger truth. Most people never learn these lessons because they don't sound exciting. They sound boring, slow, and like it requires too much discipline. But if you internalize even one of them, you start to move differently. You stop chasing the loud version of wealth and start building the durable one, the kind that gives you room to breathe. Wealth isn't a finish line, it's a direction. It doesn't reward precision, it rewards persistence. And the people who build it aren't fearless, they're just consistent. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far into the video, share it with a friend. Please consider liking and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one.